a in bed by 10 type of girl. Let me tell you, I am fighting sleep. Ugh, I'm very frustrated. So I decided to read for 24 hours straight. I have definitely, spent hours and hours and hours just nose like stuck into a book, but I've never tried to spend 24 hours straight reading, and I've been seeing so many different YouTubers doing this, and I really want to try it too. I was hoping that I would finish the series that I was currently in before this, because I don't think it's as fun to watch someone like finish off a series, but I'm not. So I'm gonna start it out with finishing off the series. I'm currently parallel reading Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms, which is the Throne of Glass series from Sarah J. Maas. Basically what that means is like these two books, if you don't know anything about it, these two books actually happen at the same time, but something happens to where certain characters like split off. This book actually follows a character that I am not a fan of. So there's a ton of people who like parallel read them, and because they happen at the same time, you can like read a few chapters of one and then read a few chapters of the other without getting any spoilers. So that's what I've been doing. I'm about 3/4 of the way done in each of these books. I have been reading it on my Kindle, and I have the signature Paperwhite edition, so like it has like the dark backgrounds. If you are a big reader and you like have a significant other, but they like get woken up by your reading light, the Kindle, I'll link it below. That being said, we're gonna start off with these two books, parallel reading them. So I am gonna start a timer. I'm gonna try to read for 24 hours straight. Obviously, if I have to go to the bathroom or, whatever, I'm not gonna be able to read. So I'll pause the timer anytime I get up and go to the bathroom. I wanna make it as long into the night as possible. We'll see how that happens. I am like a in bed by 10 type of girl. I wanted to start this last night, but I fell asleep. We'll see what happens, but either way, I will start and pause the timer. It's at 0 right now. We'll start and pause the timer every time we get up and do stuff other than read. So let's do it. Timer. Has been almost 7 hours. Wow, honestly, that time has flown by. I mean, these books are like really good, but I do have to say, this is the first time I've ever tandem read 2 books back to back, and I have to say, it makes it feel like it's taking forever to read one book. Like, it's been 7 hours, and I still have quite a bit left. I literally cried earlier, laughed, like went through all of the emotions, which that's a good book. But if you don't know anything about this series, the first book is called Throne of Glass, and I don't want to tell you anything about the rest of the books, but the first book is called Throne of Glass, and it follows a girl called Selena Sardothian, and she is an assassin, and she's picked by the prince to become like the king's assassin. So she has to fight through these trials to see if she'll be like crowned the king's assassin. It gives me Game of Thrones meets Hunger Games vibes. I do have to say that the first book is definitely more young adulty, but it just gets better and the world gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I have to eat dinner, so I'm gonna eat dinner real quick and then we're just gonna continue on reading. I'm hoping that I will finish these. Okay, now it's more like 3/4 of the way done for each book. I'm hoping that I will finish these within the next, oh, watch out, baby. Sit. Can you wait patiently? Oh, thank you. You're such a good boy. I'm hoping that another 7 hours and I will be done with both of these books, which is kind of crazy to say because like I'm not a slow reader, but let's eat dinner and then back to reading. It's almost exactly 10 hours in. I'm on the last bit of both of the books. I have just a little bit more, but let me tell you, I am fighting sleep. It is currently 10:15 and I'm usually one of those people who's in bed by like 9:30, 10. I've been yawning. I've been reading extra slow because I've been having to like reread because I'm getting so tired that like my brain can't comprehend paragraphs and I want to go to bed so bad. I don't want to like fail, but also not getting sleep is so bad for you. You know what? Maybe what I'll do is I'll take my Kindle and I'll read in bed for a little bit, and if I start to fall asleep, I'll just stop the timer. And let's hope I just don't fall asleep for that long. 13 hours. Oh my god. I just finished Empire of Storms. So good. I think I'm gonna rate it a 5. It's honestly, because this is the first time I've ever tandem read a book, I feel like it's hard to rate it for me, but I think I'm gonna rate this one a 5. I loved it. It's like the perfect amount of romance, the perfect amount of like politics, the perfect amount of action. This was such a good book. I did read last night. I only ended up reading for like 30 minutes, an hour, something like that. And then I was starting to get really tired. I fell asleep, so I paused the timer and then went to bed. Honestly, I feel like this challenge is much harder than I expected. I've definitely spent well over 24 hours at a time reading before, but I don't know what it is about this challenge. I just feel like I've been reading a lot of paragraphs. Like I've been having to like reread a lot, you know, because it's like not sticking in my brain. So I don't know if it's because I'm like forcing myself to read or if it's because I'm being timed or what, but I feel like my reading has slowed down so much. It's ridiculous. Let's finish this one. I ran into a problem. Something came up, I had to absolutely do it. It took roughly 5 hours, 4, maybe 5 hours. I am, let's see what the clock is at. The clock is at almost 14 hours right now. I still have to finish Tower of Dawn, and I have an appointment tomorrow morning that I like cannot miss. It takes like the full, like half the day. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm going to try to finish the next 9 hours and just read. I feel like I've failed a little bit just because I had to take that break and I wasn't able to stay up very late last night, but 9 hours from now, like that would be 1:30 a.m. and I definitely feel like I can do that. So I'm just gonna like kind of get back to it. Tandem reading these was the move. I know I said this earlier, but the main character that this book follows, I am just not a fan of. It's all about Kale, and I just like don't really like Kale. I know that had I read this book and then this book, I would have never gotten through this book. So let's get back to it. 9 hours. We can do this. I can do this. I'm not gonna fall asleep tonight. Update. It's been 16 hours, a little over, and I finally finished Tower of Dawn. So I think I gave the other one 5 stars and Tower of Dawn 4 stars. Honestly, I thought Tower of Dawn was really good, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed the story and where, like, just the ups and the downs. I was catching myself laughing out loud in some parts. I straight up cried. I did give it 4 stars though, because even though I could have rated it 5, I just feel like it was because I tandem read it. If you want a link to a website to where I got, hold on, let me grab it. So many people have done research on how to like tandem read these books. So if you're curious, I can put a link down below of the chapters, but you can see like it goes back and forth. Like this one is the one that I use, but they're all the same no matter where you go. and I just printed it out and I like checkmarked it as I went through. I definitely recommend tandem reading them though, because I feel like if I were to have read Tower of Dawn on its own, I probably would have put it back on my shelf and then not finished it. Just because while I thought the book was really good, I think that I would have gotten so frustrated that I wasn't reading about the other characters, because the main character it follows in this book is Kaol, and I'm not a fan of Kaol. 16 hours in, I'll call it, we're one book finished. I'll call it that, since we finished like essentially half of one and half of another. And I still think we read like 600 pages. Crazy. That being said, I honestly don't know if I'm gonna get through the entire last book. This is the last book in the series. She thick. Like few C's, right? Let's see how many pages there are, honestly. 980 pages. I don't think I'm gonna get through this. Those last two books, reading like what, 600-ish pages, took me 16 hours. It'd probably take me what? It'd probably take me a full 24 hours. Anyway, we're gonna start this. I am concerned, I have an appointment tomorrow and it lasts like the entire half day. I have a sneaking suspicion I'm gonna fail at this challenge. I'm gonna do my best. I'm not gonna read in bed this time and just try to get as many hours as I can, and if I fail, then I guess I fail. Which sucks because I don't want to do that. We'll see what happens. Ugh. I don't even know when I last checked in. I think it's been like an hour. We're on hour almost 17. I've gotten nowhere. Actually, that's not even the page I'm on. I'm technically on this page. I'm very frustrated. I have like a splitting headache, and all I want to do right now is go to bed. I'm not even tired, but I just want to be like in a dark room. That entire hour I have read 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, oh wait, the pages are numbered. This is how much my head hurts. I've read 10 pages. 10. And it sucks because I feel like this video is a fail, you know? But I want to be transparent. I literally didn't stop for anything except sleeping and eating. I don't know what happened, and I feel like it's a total fail. I think I'm gonna be done. I think I'm calling it. Which sucks because I know I can do it. It happens. Don't be too hard on yourself when you don't do something. I just feel like my body is telling me, Grace, stop reading. And between the headaches and everything, I'm also losing interest. And I think it's because I'm forcing myself to read even when I don't want to. And I've just been reading so much in the last 2 days that like my brain is sitting here going, I'm sorry, what are words? I think all it wants is some sleep. So that's what we're gonna do. But we got through a full book in how many hours? 17 hours. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very disappointed, but that's okay. I'm trying to listen to my body when it tells me to stop doing things. I want to try this again. So if you liked the video, or if you want me to try it again, make sure that you like the video and comment down below maybe like some book recommendations. I think that, you know, I didn't have any strategy going into this, and I think that next time I will definitely have to have a strategy and maybe not read a book that is like ungodly thick. I mean, this is what, I said it was 990 pages? Like, oh my goodness, that's a lot. Comment below your book recommendations, subscribe, like, do the things, follow me on Insta, and I'll see y'all next time. If that ending sucked, I'm so sorry.